the greatest achievement I've had is overcoming survival mode, you could call it, an identity crisis, a full-blown existential crisis. To define it would be, it's a state of being that we're in, and we're not in control. Our emotions are actually controlling us, and that is based on survival, obviously, survival mode, but it's based on the animalistic part of ourselves trying to, I'm going to say, avoid pain, which is stress of some kind, our fears, not feeling good enough. And I say that emotions are just a primitive way of meeting our needs. And we act in a way like an animal to try and get safety and stability within our lives. And realizing that the voice in my head driving me to do things in my life, be successful as an athlete, as an example, that was running me, but it wasn't truly who I was. I couldn't drink water without vomiting. I had warts growing on my body. This relationship I'm in is sucking the life out of me. I was a shell of a human. And if anyone hasn't experienced a real existential crisis or an identity crisis or a spiritual awakening, it was like I was drunk. My self-worth was so low. I couldn't get an erection as a man because I felt so much shame in my body. And I cried a lot. I just cried and cried. At first I was angry. It turned into sadness. It was depression. I looked at suicide as the only way out. And I think it is normal for an athlete to lack a bit of compassion because you're literally trying to beat another person. And so if you have compassion for them, you might not be a great athlete. But it wasn't until later life when you actually have to think about other people, that's when compassion comes in, right? And my whole life, I hadn't expressed that trait. I hadn't practiced being compassionate. And so I had to relearn. And I went too far. I became too compassionate and started to people please and be altruistic.
A lot of people are unaware of the residual impact of stress and also the residual impact of trauma, which is one of the reasons why I started this podcast.
All physical ailments are really a reflection of stress. If we are stressed in life, our nervous system is going to be in a sympathetic state. We're not in our healing mode. Our body can't rejuvenate and rebuild, and eventually something is going to break. I believe that all we can heal all physical symptomology through psychology, through our mindset, balancing our perceptions, balancing our mind, balancing our emotions, centering ourselves, living a life that we love, following our aspirations, having meaning in our life.
So you stay distracted from what could change your life if you addressed it. I used to be 400 pounds. And I remember someone saying, when you get comfortable with yourself, when you get happy with yourself, you're just going to drop the weight.
You are so unique, you are so special, you are so important. The world needs you, and there is nothing that can ever happen to you that can take that away from you. So self-worth is ever present. It comes from your soul. And the only two things that I can control in my life, because when I change what I think and I change what I feel, that's going to change how I act, and that's going to change my life. I had this beautiful meditation where the realization came through that even if I was dirt broke, even if I was poor, I could still get up and make you smile. Look at your life. It's going to be a reflection of your thinking.
We recycle 95 to 96% of our thoughts. And if we aren't challenging them at any stage, we aren't going to change in any way, right? But what I will say is, I found myself when I had to face my biggest fear. When my biggest fear became my reality, something that I had to face every day, something in me changed fundamentally. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful.
I don't believe we can be authentic if we don't, because our fear is just going to run us and we're not going to follow our true path. It's like an egg, and the shell is our protective ego. The white bit is our emotion, our fear, and the yolk is who we truly are, our soul. And life cracked the shell open big time. And I was resisting. I was trying to put the shell back together again. And that's freedom. So I get to be free, and I give, I hope, other people permission to be free as well, to be inspired, to follow their path. So to be authentic is to have free will and to choose freely what we do. If you or anyone listening, if you remember even your earliest memories, you would have been a very different person back then. But there's a feeling of you, there's a feeling of Leticia that's always existed. It's like you become an artist, and the canvas that you paint on is the physical world. And so
Hmm.
you just get to spread your art everywhere you go.
Yeah, I think a huge part of accident survival mode is being able to take radical ownership of yourself.
Set an alarm for 10 minutes and sit on a seat beside your bed, somewhere where you're free from distractions, where you're free from the noise of the world. If there's anyone around, tell them you're going to be busy for 10 minutes. Sit down and close your eyes and feel what's going on inside your body. I believe that masterful people focus on what they can control. Majority of people focus on what they can't control. And when you really dive into what you can control, there is only one thing you can control, which is your thoughts.
But here's the truth: you're not broken, you're just unfinished.